Hi, and welcome to episode 62 of M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers podcast. I'm Jamie, your host and the dyer behind m1yarns.com. I should say the yarn dyer, because if you aren't in the yarn world, that might come across really strange. And if you aren't in the yarn world, this is a knitting related podcast. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. If you are new here, or if you didn't know before, I link to everything I talk about down below. There should be like a little drop down thing beneath me, and I list out where you can find me on Instagram, Patreon, my website, all that good stuff. And then I also put show notes to links I talk about. And let's talk about first what I'm wearing and what I'm drinking. This is so freaking good. This is an anti-inflammatory smoothie that I make quite frequently. I will put the recipe, because this is so good. And I think I found this online. It's chia seeds, which I hope I don't get any in my teeth during this episode. So now you're probably going to be watching my teeth this whole time. You're welcome for that. So chia seeds, a cup of almond milk, although you could probably do whatever, like dairy or non-dairy liquid of your choice. I add a scoop or two of those Vital Proteins. I don't know what's in it, but I hope for the best. Then it's got frozen mango chunks. I add a little bit of frozen pineapple. Then it's got a half teaspoon each of ginger, turmeric, and cinnamon. And then a little bit of cracked black pepper. And blend in the Ninja. And that's it. It's so good. It's like a little bit of sweet, a little bit of kick. And honestly, I swear by it. It literally is anti-inflammatory. Like when days I drink it, I feel so good. Anyway, I didn't have lunch today, so that's my meal. I know that's probably not like even close to a meal, but anyway, we digress. This is not a nutrition podcast. What am I wearing? Fresh off the needles, this is my third Ranunculus. I'm not going to do a finished object review video about this because I kind of feel like it doesn't really warrant it. I mean, I guess I could, but I'll just give you a quick rundown on it. If you haven't heard of the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose, I think is how you say it. And if I'm incorrect, I would appreciate being corrected, because I always want to try to pronounce things correctly out of respect for people. But anyway, this is like probably one of the most popular patterns on the face of the earth as far as knitting patterns go. And I have heavily modified mine because I have knit it 3 times now and I wanted to change it up. The excuse me, the original design has some real open lace work between like these 2 lines. And my bra top is like I'm wearing a cami underneath, but my bra is also at the same point. I'm wearing a black bra. There you go. You can see it now. And when I wear my other versions with the lace, with or without a cami, actually I always wear a cami, I just feel like the lace work here just exposes too much. It's too much for me. Not my jam. So I wanted to omit that this time. I like the texture, which this yarn is very busy for the texture, at least I think. Maybe it in person it doesn't look so busy, but on camera it looks very busy. The yarn is my own hand dyed. This was from the fall. So I do this quarterly box that you can pre-order called Yarn Addicts. You purchase a quarter at a time, and you get 3 skeins. You pick from 2 different bases, either the yak sock base, which is a merino yak nylon blend, or a BFL nylon blend. Let me get up close so you can see. So this has like obviously a gray background with some like pinks and purples and rusts, and this this took exactly 1 skein. And when I say exactly, I literally had like this much yarn left. And I knew from experience making this pattern that I could do it out of 1 skein. It's obviously sock weight yarn. I did, to ensure that I had enough, I did a little bit of shaping, like maybe 3 sets of decreases down the side, just a little bit. I omitted the lace, which probably did not have bearing on eating up the yarn versus, you know, not versus eating it up. And then essentially, so when I split for the sleeves, when I came back, I literally just put them back on the needle and bound off. That was it. So that's it. I guess I wouldn't say I heavily modified. I just omitted the lace, the really open lace. I kept the texture. If I were to do it again, which I totally would, I would move this line of texture up to like here. So basically you have all the texture here and then nothing down here. Because I really don't like stuff floating like solo here. It's just weird to me. I don't know. I'm kind of like that with like pockets on shirts. I'm kind of like that with like on button downs where the button falls. Like if you have 2 buttons here and then you get a big gape, that bothers me. The button should be appropriately placed so that, you know, things flow. Anyway, I do love a 1 skein wonder. I do love a knit tee, and I knit this as my submission, although I can't win, for the Tee Off Spring Make Along, which I'm hosting here on the podcast, over on the Ravelry forum, which I will link below, now through July 16th, where you can, it's very loosey-goosey. The only rules are knit or crochet any pattern, just no long sleeves, any tee or tank. And you can knit a sweater pattern, like a long sleeve sweater. We just don't want long sleeves. So go for it. And then you can post your WIP or FO photo to the podcast for the forum on Ravelry, linked below, or to Instagram with this hashtag. So I wanted to tee off spring with a knit tee, and I think I talked about this last time. Did I go through all my knit tees? I have a whole basket of them right here. I will have to watch the last episode to see if I talked to you guys about my knit tees collection, because maybe that's a good, maybe that's something I can chat about on the next episode. But I think I have just as many knit tees and tanks as I do like long sleeve sweaters. I love a good knit tee, and I think there's a misconception that wool is not good for summer. Wool is totally good for summer. It breathes better than actually better than cotton. It wicks sweat better than cotton. Totally better than synthetics. I got a little bit of the pepper in there stuck in my throat. I wear my wool knit tees and tanks all summer long, and I live in Michigan, you know, where we have plenty of days that are in the 90s with 90% humidity. It's disgusting. We have disgusting summers from like mid-July through the end of August. Let me bring you up to speed on what's been going on. After the last episode, I had just gotten home from Chicago where I attended Stitch Up. And then I was just about to go on vacation with my husband. We went to Colorado where we spent, the two of us, a few days in Breckenridge. Just resting and reconnecting. And it was really nice. One day, we spent a very lazy day where I knit, excuse me, in an entire afternoon, a hat. This is the, what is this? Pull the Wool Over by Tbsp. Is that right? I feel like it is. I haven't even woven in the end. Anyway, I'll get around to it. This is my wine colorway. So it's a strand of worsted weight held with a strand of like fuzzy. And I have a fur pom-pom I need to sew the snap on. Anyway, so that was a fun like reset. And I posted about this on Instagram the other day that hats, especially like just a good basic hat, are such a good palette cleanser. Or something like a portable. If you're not a sock maker, I think these are a good portable project to keep in your purse or your backpack or your go bag, whatever. If you made one of these a month, you would have 6 of these done to gift when it comes time for the holidays. Sorry for the camera shake. My dog just rolled over on the tripod. Anyway, how great would that be? If you have 6 family members you need to gift around the holidays, or 6 coworkers, or 6 friends, you would be ready for the holidays if you made one a month. Just saying. So, that was a great palette cleanser. And then I got home. Oh, so then after Breckenridge, my husband and I drove to see my mom and stepdad, and we spent about 4 or 5 days with them, and that was so nice. We went and did some hiking and shopping and lunching and just spent good time together, so that was really nice. We got back, and it was as if my body had said, okay, the month of April is over. I had been on the go all month. I had apparently picked up a virus on the plane, and it was like I just shut down. I could not talk. I couldn't even knit. I was miserable for like a good 48 hours. And it kind of made me think I just needed to like reset, just recharge. But that was good because it got me thinking about like the next, you know, like what's ahead for summer and that sort of thing. When I was on my trip, I took with me several whips. I took this, so that's how I made progress on that. I took a project that's been in timeout for a while, and I'm telling you, if you're not feeling a project, it is such a slog. I am a firm believer that you should find joy in your project, and I don't know why I can't get these needles like I mean, this is like a disaster zone right now, so bear with me. Oh, anyway, our knitting should be joy. So I'm not a fan of like forced knitting kind of thing, but I really hate projects in timeout. I really want to finish this. So I took it with me thinking, okay, if I'm on the plane, I'll have time to work on it. I think I did maybe like just this section, like these 8 rows since the mohair. This is the Birds of Paradise shawl. This was a kit in my shop last summer. I mean, it's absolutely gigantic. I wanted to gift this to my mom, I'm sure last year, and then I thought about it for her birthday in March, and then I thought about it for Mother's Day this year. I have so much to go. I'm not really enjoying it. Maybe I'll finish it for Christmas. I don't know. If you've knit this, can you tell me what you thought? If you have projects in timeout, can you tell me how to like bring back the mojo? Here's the thing. There are so many things I want to make, and I want to enjoy them. I really hate projects in timeout. I will have to come back to this at some point. This is one of them. Then I have the sea glass tee in timeout, which I actually would like to finish because I would like to wear it this summer. So I should come back to it. Maybe I'll come back to it in a few weeks. Let's hold that thought. And then the only other thing I have in timeout, which hasn't been in timeout that long, is Goldwing. That's what it is. I want to call it something else. Goldwing. I don't think I've made much of a dent since the last episode. Maybe an inch. Let's not talk about this. Anyway, what I have been knitting on is exciting, and it's all new, and it's mostly going to be kits in the shop. But let's first talk about really cute gift knitting. And if you are one of my friends who watches this, who recently had a baby, press pause right now. You cannot watch this until you have received a package in the mail from me and you know who you are, because there's only one of you, only one of my friends who watches this has just had a baby, your first baby. So let's all congratulate my friend, who shall remain nameless. I know she's very private. She's very lovely, and I'm so happy for her. She messaged me the other day that she gave birth to a very healthy baby boy, her first baby, and that she and baby were back home and doing well, and I was so excited. I had been meaning to knit a baby sweater, and I don't know why I hadn't gotten around to it, but I had this yellow bulky yarn. It's cotton, so it's easy care for mama and daddy. And I love neutrals for babies, because especially firstborn, because then they can be handed down if you have more children. Then they're not like, plus I'm not big into like gender specific baby clothes, because I just think it's easier, you know, like if you have multiple kids, just pass it down. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. So I whipped this up. I can't remember. Oh, this is called the Triforce sweater. The design has like some color work happening, but I just wanted a basic top-down raglan free pattern. And so that's what I did. I will link to it below. It was a good pattern. My gauge, I thought I was on for the newborn size. I can successfully say I was off per usual, because this is definitely not a newborn size. A newborn was supposed to measure a 20-inch chest, and this is measuring a 26 6-inch chest, but I'm not worried about it because, as you know, babies grow. So I am about to send this in the mail to my friend, and I hope that her little boy loves it. And if she ends up being blessed with future children, I hope that they all get to love it too. So that was fun. I knit this in 2 days. I'm a big advocate of bulky baby stuff. Good. I don't mind gift knitting for babies. I don't like gift knitting for big people. Let's just leave that there. Okay, since the last episode, I have cast on 2 other new projects. Andrea Mowry just released a new cowl pattern that incorporates 3 strands. 1 strand of fingering, 1 strand of lace weight Surrey alpaca, and 1 strand of hand spun. And I had this hand spun. This is Entropy from Feederbrook Farm, which is based in New York. I had this left over from it was a sweater by Andrea Mowry. Anyway, I had like almost a whole skein left over. So I decided to go a little colorful and pair it with wine in my Surrey alpaca base, and then harvest in my 80/20 sock base. So this is Lean Mean Machine in harvest, and this is wine in Surrey Silk Street. And there are kits already for this in the shop in multiple color combos. And so this orange is a provisional cast on, so just ignore that. It's called the Rad Plaid Cowl. So you knit it in the round, and then this end is going to be joined. You're going to knit it all the way around, and you're going to twist it. So it's going to become like double layered, like a tube, if that makes any sense. I'll insert a photo from her sample. But this is actually, it was a little bit of a rough start. I cast it on when I was sick, and I think my brain wasn't processing. But now that my brain seems to be working, it's actually going very well. Very easy, very enjoyable. So yeah, Rad Plaid Cowl. So that's one thing. And let me just say, I think knitting for the off season, like knitting winter accessories in the summer and summer tees in the winter, totally makes sense, because it's like you're planning and preparing rather than saying, oh, I'm working on this, and by the time I finish it, I'm only going to have like 3 weeks to wear it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're sitting at home saying, Jamie, why are you knitting a winter cowl? Because, let's be real, you know, winter is coming, as they say on Game of Thrones. The other thing that I just cast on, and I'm going to be making kits for this in the shop soon, is the, what is this called? Oaktober by, I'll insert a photo. Knitted Wishes is the designer's like brand name. So this is a one-of-a-kind colorway for this. And then I've paired it with beach sand. This is my DK weight. This is a Highland wool that's unique to this kit. And so this is the palm. There's color work in the palm. And then this is the back of the hand. And what's really cool about this pattern is there's 2 different versions of the, what do you call it? Chart. Actually, on camera, it's like you can see it better. There's a chart with berries and leaves, and then there's a chart with just leaves. Wait a minute. I'm trying not to show much because it's too much. Leaves and berries. Anyway, can we normalize making charts like not minuscule for those of us who need progressive glasses? This is so annoying. Like, charts should take up, I realize this is like taking up the whole width, but charts should take up the whole page. Don't get me started. Anyway, y'all know I love color work knitting. It is so enjoyable. And this is actually, oh, what happened to my, this is actually a really enjoyable pattern. This is 2 nights worth of knitting, I want to say, ish. Maybe a little less than that. It's going by really fast. I'll show you up close. I'm really loving this Highland wool that is the brown. Let me show it to you again. So it's got like various depths and tones, if you will. Almost like reddish browns and black kind of leaning bits. But I'm just loving this. I think this is really fun. And I'm excited. There's actually another pair of color work mitts that I want to make this fall. The, I forget what it's called. But I plan on making kits for that. So when I talk about it, we'll cross that bridge when I get there. Anyway, so that's what I've been knitting. The only other thing that I wanted to tell you guys that is new in my shop is that I now carry Soak Wool Wash, which if you have not tried this, you are seriously missing out. Soak is a Canadian brand that is not only good for your knits and your crochet projects, but the planet. It's good for your skin. It comes in a wide variety of fragrance options as well as the scentless, and it comes in the 12-ounce bottle, which I'm showing you here, as well as like a little travel 3-ounce bottle. And what's really cool about this, how I do it, you can do this in the sink, or you could do it in like a bucket. You just use a tablespoon for a gallon of water. You just need enough water for your sweater or whatever you're washing to kind of like swim around. You don't need to rinse it. So this is really good, especially like this time of year where maybe you're putting your sweaters away for the season. If you wash your sweaters before you store them, they are less likely to get eaten by moths. Moths are actually attracted to like the scent of like body odor, maybe food that has spilled on the fabric. So washing it will, is good for storage. And not having to go through like a whole rinse thing is really great. This is also really good for washing lingerie. Anyway, you can check out the whole lineup on my shop. And so I'm really excited to now be carrying this. For folks in Michigan, I will be vending at the Tip of the Mitt Fiber Festival the first weekend in June. So if you are in the Petoskey area, come say hi. I will have new stuff, which will be exciting. And I think that's all I have for you today. If not, I will just mention it next time. So I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.